Noon, beach high tide, bodies floating. Many dead Americans on beach at high water mark. 12:15. Heavy mortar and 88 fire started on beach from east end to west. Series of 5 shells in spots. Direct hit on Sherman tank. Men out like rats, those alive. 12:30. LCT hit, 2 mines. Came on in. Hit third, disintegrated, and rear end sunk at burst of shell. 2 Navy men went flying through the air into water. Never came up. These lines were written by Major Stanley Bach, who was a liaison officer for the 1st Infantry Division, attached to the advance headquarters of the 29th Infantry Division as it landed on Omaha Beach, D-Day, June 6, 1944. He originally recorded his observations of the chaotic scenes on 2 tattered pages from a memorandum book and on 3 battered envelopes that he had torn open to permit writing on both sides. He recorded the times of the events so we can track what he did and saw on the day of days. Of course, the details recorded by Bach may not be 100% accurate. As we will see, the landings on Omaha were chaotic, and many of the units were disorganized for most of the day. This is D-Day on Omaha Beach and how Bach saw it. Bach's notes begin very early on June 6th. He was aboard USS Charles Carroll, a Crescent City-class attack transport. 0230, up for D-Day. 0310, breakfast. 0545, barrage on shore. Bach described the beginning of the landings in a very nonchalant manner. 0625, H-hour. Bach and other members of the advance headquarters of the 29th Infantry Division began the process of getting ashore at 0830 when they loaded into an LCVP. He recorded that they were in a very rough sea at 0900. Bach landed in the area not too far from where the Normandy American Cemetery is today. Their LCVP reached the beach at 10:10, ramped down, ankle deep, wonderful handling of craft, landed at St. Laurent-sur-Mer on Easy Green Beach. This area was in chaos before Bach landed, as troops of the 1st and 29th Divisions had been mixed up on the beach due to landing craft touching down in the wrong spots due to the intense enemy fire. He landed in the same area as G and F companies of the 116th Regiment. These companies were supposed to land on Dog Red, but the heavy enemy fire shifted their landings to Easy Green. Problems began almost immediately for Bach upon reaching the beach. 10:15, pinned down by rifle and artillery fire. The advance inland on this section of Omaha did not take place at one of the draws in the area. Infantry and engineers advanced up the shingle and up the bluffs in short advances. This was a costly and time-consuming process. It was not until around the time that Bach landed on the beach that some areas at the tops of the bluffs were in American hands. This advance left strong points guarding the main draws and therefore making them inaccessible. As a result, vehicles caused congestion on the beach and there was nowhere for them to go. Heavy fire and difficulties with obstacles in the water at other sectors led many craft to come in at Easy Green and Easy Red, causing more congestion on the shrinking space of the beach due to the rising tide. About 0830, the landing of vehicles here was suspended. During the next few hours, all types of craft, including ducks and rhino ferries, were milling off Easy Green and Easy Red sectors, waiting for a chance to come in. This congestion had tragic consequences, as we will see later as described by Bach. 10:30. Down to see General Wayman. Willard G. Wayman was Assistant Divisional Commander of the 1st Infantry Division. Wayman had set up his headquarters on Easy Red, in the entrance of the E1 draw. This is possibly the spot where Bach went to go meet him. The move up the infamous cliffs began. 10:45, 1st Division up, St. Laurent Point to Strong Point, the Navy shelled point. 1100, point taken. This is the area at the top of the bluffs. Allied naval vessels were firing on this area due to the German troops still occupying the defensive positions there. At 11:30, Bach noted, "Well dug in by wall, 5 feet deep with 2-foot stone wall behind. Mortar, rifle, 88, and machine gun fire so heavy on beach. It's either get to ridge and back of beach or be killed." It appears Bach returned to the beach at some point and helped bring more troops up the cliffs. 11:45. Led a group of 15 men through minefield and waded water knee-deep to hillside. Dug in gully 2 feet short of crest. Safe there as no mortar or 88 could possibly hit us. There were minefields on the flat areas just beyond the seawall and shingle and before the bluff started. There was some swampy land behind the seawall too, along with flooded anti-tank ditches. This would explain why Bach had to move through a minefield and then knee-deep water. Bach may have been leading troops of the 1st Division through this area. We have now reached the point in Bach's notes that began the video. Noon on Omaha Beach. Beach high tide, bodies floating. Many dead Americans on beach at high water mark. 12:15. Heavy mortar and 88 fire started on beach from east end to west. Series of 5 shells in spots. Direct hit on Sherman tank. Men out like rats, those alive. 12:30. LCT hit, 2 mines. Came on in, hit 3rd, disintegrated, and rear end sunk at burst of shell. 2 Navy men went flying through the air into water. Never came up. 12:50. Saw a captain, infantry, pull 5 men to shore out of water. 1300. Tide going out now. Rhino ferry in, but bursting shells forced it to go back out to sea after unloading 2 vehicles. 1320. Saw direct hit on beach LCM. Flames everywhere. Men burning alive. Beach can now be seen by aid of glasses entire distance about 2 miles east and 2 miles west, with tide slowly going out. Long runnels appear in beach. Also obstacles with deadly teller mines on top of beach. 1400. Fire on beach increasing. 8 men go to help man that was machine gunned, but hit by bullet himself. Another 8 men pulled him back to Foxhole. 1430. Just heard from above that Captain T. Ernst of 116th Infantry is above us in field, hit by bullet. 4 aid men go get him. He comes back smiling despite shoulder wounds. Says get 2 Jerrys for him. This is Captain Morris A. Ernst, Regimental S1 of the 116th Infantry Regiment. 1440. More mortar fire, more men hit. LCVP unload 5 loads of men. They lie down on beach. Mortar fire kills 5 of them. Rest up and run for foxholes we left couple hours ago. 1500. Snipers in large brick house on beach only 50 yards from high water mark. Keeps men in holes. 1520. Direct hit on 2.5 ton truck. Gasoline load, canvas flames. Another catches fire. An entire load goes up. Area 100 yards square. Men's clothes on fire, put out flames. Some successful, others die in flames. An observer off Easy Green aboard an LST on D-Day noted that German 88s had direct fire into vehicles on the beach and on LCTs on D-Day and did heavy damage. 1540. Infantry moving by us, up path over crest, moving forward. We endeavor to move on. Machine gun holds us for a few minutes. Then lifts, we get to open field. Follow path. See 1 man that had stepped on mine. No body from waist down. Just entrails and chest organs. 1600. We reach wood through field. 500 yards from top of cliff, we just came up. See man on knees. We think he is praying or scared. Roll him over and he is dead. Died on his knees praying. 1630. Barbed wire, mines, mortar, MG, rifle, and 88 fire everywhere it seems. Prayed several times. Why do these things have to be forced upon men? 1650. Reach town of Saint Laurent, 3/4 mile from beach. Snipers holding up our advance. Established CP and saw first time the 1st Division friends who were quiet, fighting mad. Gave me heart too. 1700. Prisoners began to come up road. A sorry looking bunch in comparison to our well-fed and equipped men. 1800. Still plenty of gunfire in distance. Mortar fire in orchard where CP was. Caused all to dig in or get behind trees, stumps, or ditches. Bach finished his notes on D-Day with this passage. P.S. I've seen movies, assault training demonstrations, and actual battle, but nothing can approach the scenes on the beach from 1130 to 1400 hours. Men being killed like flies from unseen gun positions. Navy can't hit them, air cover can't see them, so infantry had to dig them out. Bach died in 1998 and is buried in the Miles Back Cemetery in Quicksand, Kentucky.